Hey guys, Bix Weir, roadtoroota.com with your morning horn of Zeese, your sip of coffee. I hope everybody caught the interview that Cliff and Joe and I did yesterday. It is on the JSNP4 website. Also, if you are a subscriber to the Road to Ruta YouTube channel, a lot have been getting dropped off. And people are saying, "Oh, I subscribe to your YouTube channel, but it keeps dropping me off." That's part of the war against the alternative media. So make sure you're still a subscriber. Go to the Road to Ruta YouTube channel and just make sure you are subscribed. If you're not subscribed, click subscribe. A lot of people commenting on my hat yesterday. I'm doing an interview with two bald guys, so I thought, I'll put something on my head. So this was that. Yes, it is from Caddyshack. Those of you who watch Caddyshack know exactly what this hat is. And we had a Caddyshack party a couple months ago, and I got this hat. So anyway, that's the hat. And this, yes, I'm not bald. That's my real hair. It's very long right now, and I plan on getting a haircut. Actually, my wife Amy cuts my hair, so I'll get her on that. Save you guys the pain and suffering of looking at my hair and my head and my hats. I love the hats. The hats are fun. They're gonna stay. You guys can fight all you want. Uh, Hats are great. They're hysterical. But I want to talk about briefly the Three Amigos video. It was awesome. It was great. Cliff is just a wealth of information. Joe cracks me up every time I talk to him. The big thing, my big takeaway, is when you listen to this video, it is very clear that the cryptos are here to stay. No matter what FUD you hear from Jamie Dimon or China or wherever, they're here to stay. They're changing the world. They will rapidly increase in changing the world. The people who say it's in a bubble have no idea what they're talking about. They can't explain to you, just because the price goes up does not mean it's in a bubble. Maybe it's massively undervalued compared to the usefulness in the future, which is the exact case of Bitcoin. So yes, it will be volatile, but yes, it is going to moonshot on a daily basis. Not daily, monthly, quarterly. We will hit $1 million Bitcoin. We'll probably hit $10 million Bitcoin. That may be more of a function of the US dollar imploding. As you can see, if you look anywhere, the US economy, the global unbacked fiat monetary system is on the brink of collapsing. That should scare anybody out of any dollar-based assets. And pretty soon, all assets will be priced not in dollars, not in unbacked fiat money, but in cryptos. So, yes, it's a big deal. It's a gigantic deal. Everything that you have that is in the unbacked fiat system is going to go away and will be transferred over, most likely, is what they're trying to do, to a crypto system. So take your pick, do what you will. My favorites are Litecoin. I like Ethereum as far as cryptos. And Bitcoin, the problem with Bitcoin, if you own Bitcoin prior to August 1st, you own Bitcoin and Bitcoin Cash. Nobody knows which one's going to win. And you can hear, Tone Basil say, "Oh my God, it's Bitcoin, obviously." Don't believe Tone. Tone's an idiot. I love him to death, but he's an idiot when it comes to understanding what humanity needs in the future. The very minute the banks collapse, we're going to need a means of exchange. Bitcoin Cash is a lot better than Bitcoin, the currently named Bitcoin. Bitcoin Cash might turn into Bitcoin. There's no trademark on which one gets the BTC calling, so it's very kind of up in the air. If you're going to buy buy both Bitcoin and Bitcoin Cash and split it equally, in my opinion, if you're doing it now. If you bought before August 1st when the fork happened, you're golden. As long as you didn't trade anything, and as long as it's not kept in a third-party exchange, and you hold your own private key to your wallet, you own both. And then it'll split again, you own all three. If you haven't bought Bitcoin yet, you need to buy both Bitcoin and Bitcoin Cash, and I would split it 50-50 between the two, because you don't know which one's going to ultimately be the final Bitcoin. Or not even play in that game and buy some Litecoin, which is going to be a lot faster and a lot cheaper to use as the banks crash. I really think Litecoin is got a huge future, and Charlie Lee over there at Litecoin is doing amazing things. We talked a little bit in the video about atomic swaps. And that's the latest thing. And Litecoin will be first on the Lightning Network. Litecoin's just, it's doing it right. It's doing it right because it is preparing to be the means of exchange for humanity. 9 billion people using Litecoin. So yes, at sub $50, it's a screaming buy. At sub $100, it's a screaming buy. At sub $1,000, it's a screaming buy. And you'll get the handle on that when everybody else starts to figure out, hey, wait a minute, Bitcoin isn't the only cryptocurrency. There's a lot of others. Which would be most useful as a means of exchange as the banks start crumbling? It's Litecoin. All right. Yes, there are others. They all have their issues. I think every crypto has its issues, but Litecoin, I think, will be the choice of the good guys, as I call them. So that's my insider take from the Road to Ruta standing, is that the good guys are preparing for Litecoin to be used much more as a means of exchange than Bitcoin. All right, moving on. And on that note, let's talk a little about the China ICO, China crackdown on ICOs and exchanges. This is not, I repeat, this is not China trying to destroy Bitcoin as a offering going forward. Not at all, not even close. China is embracing Bitcoin. They did the same thing with the exchanges back in December when the exchanges were trading multiples of the total amount of Bitcoin. Millions of Bitcoin traded every day when there wasn't even millions out there. So they shut it down, and the volume on the Chinese exchanges went from over 1 million Bitcoin per day down to almost nothing. And what happened to the price of Bitcoin? It skyrocketed because those were phony trades. When you're on an exchange, you're dealing with, those aren't blockchain transactions. You're betting within the exchange, and bets go back and forth, and high frequency trades and all that. So China's crackdown on ICOs is just the same thing, trying to take out all the criminality within the ICOs, and there's massive criminality. Anybody can jump in with an ICO and say, give me your Ethereum, and voila, they steal your money. So it's very important that you understand who's behind these ICOs. Are they legit or are they not? The ones that aren't will go away. The ones that are legit will be the Amazons and Facebooks and Googles of the future. And they're happening right now, so you should not shy away from them. Just figure out which ones are correct. When will it end in China? Cliff High says probably the end of October when they have their elections, because every 5 years they have elections, that they want everything to be stable at that point in time. And it makes sense. So, and I note that China told all the owners of the exchanges, they brought them in for a meeting, discussed things, but China said, don't leave the country. And that's what China's afraid of, is that when any country should be afraid of, anybody starts suppressing the cryptocurrencies and the infrastructure of blockchain technologies, it'll just go to another country. And that is exactly what China is afraid of. Not that Bitcoin is going to gain ground and blockchain technologies are going to do so well that it takes over their hold on the monetary system. They're afraid that by slowing it down, they're going to have other people move away out of China to mine Bitcoin and to start up Bitcoin companies and industries. So China told the heads of the exchanges, we're going to crack down on you, but oh, by the way, stick around, stay in the country. We want you to stay in the country because we're just figuring this out. We will come out with regulations probably after the election. And then you'll be able to thrive within China, because China will embrace these regulations they're going to put on, are going to embrace Bitcoin, embrace the crypto world and the blockchain technology. Very exciting time. All you got to do is sit and wait. That good news won't come till the end of October, which is not far away. It's a month away. So anybody afraid that China's going to stop Bitcoin, it's FUD, fear, uncertainty, and doubt. Jamie Dimon spreads FUD about Bitcoin. Jamie Dimon and JP Morgan are heavily invested in all kinds of Bitcoin startups, all kinds of, they've tried to file patents for cryptocurrencies. JP Morgan and Jamie Dimon are knee deep in the cryptos. For Jamie Dimon to come, it's funny because they were having a JP Morgan sponsored roundtable on the blockchain in San Francisco the very moment that Jamie Dimon said that Bitcoin was a scam. Literally, they have hired hundreds of people to work on the blockchain. Some of the best minds out there working for the big guys at JP Morgan because they know the world is changing. You can't say you like the blockchain, but you hate Bitcoin. That means you just don't understand how badly the world needs a cryptocurrency and how badly our current fiat unbacked monetary system is performing these days. So guys like Chris Duane who say, I love the blockchain, but I hate Bitcoin. That is completely ignorant of what's happening. We need truth and honesty and money above all else. The blockchain technology is great because it introduces and injects truth and honesty into any system. And what is the most needed place where we need truth and honesty? That is the unbacked fiat monetary system. So for Chris Duane to be saying, he hates Bitcoin, but he loves the blockchain, he doesn't get it. He really doesn't get it. And it's sad for all his followers, but hey, I guess he's been losing followers lately. So you go for it, Chris. All right, so that's enough on that. Let's take a quick look at the cryptos. Kind of hovering. Bitcoin back up to, it went under 3,000, I believe, briefly. And it's back up to 4,000. Yes, it is volatile. Everything is volatile in a free market. And if you don't want volatility, then, buy yourself some silver and some gold and watch them rig the volatility out of it. But if you're gonna be in the cryptos, you gotta expect volatility. And if you are kicking yourself that you didn't get into Bitcoin when it was $10, buy the lows every time it gets volatile, because the people who bought at $10 earned their money. It wasn't some lucky thing that they just happened to get in early, so they got lucky. No. Imagine the risk of spending a lot of money when Bitcoin was $10 in the early days when nobody knew about it. They got paid for the risk that they took. And you're going to get paid for the risk that you took right now. There's a lot of fear, uncertainty, and doubt, which means to me that there's a lot of people not getting in because of fear, uncertainty, and doubt. There are thousands of Bitcoin and blockchain companies springing up all over the world. It is the wave of the future. You cannot deny that. It is undeniable. It's not going to go away, as much as the likes of Chris Duane and some of the gold bugs, Hugo Salinas Price and Bill Holter. They all want it to go away, and because they don't understand it and they don't see what an amazing invention it really is. It can save the gold and silver market from manipulation, and yet they don't embrace it. Where's the intellectual honesty there? Anyway, let's look through a couple of our favorite. Litecoin under $50. Like I said, scream and buy. The moment people understand what Litecoin is, a cheap way to transact business, a fast way to transact business on day-to-day exchanges, and that is exactly what we need as the banks start to crumble. And then we got all the other. It's interesting. All the high market caps are pretty much the cryptocurrencies, and then you get down to the businesses. I would say Ethereum isn't a cryptocurrency. I would say it's a platform. The rest we're looking at. Amigos is a platform. I like that one as well. If you think Asia needs to be banked, I'd go with that one. And there's a lot down here. Steam is an interesting platform. It's cool. I love it. I wouldn't invest in it as a cryptocurrency because where's all the money going to come from to go into Steam? 10x is the Bitcoin or the crypto credit card. I like the crypto credit cards. Not all of them will succeed. It's going to be very saturated, but I like them. And then down here somewhere is my favorite. There it is, Veritasium, $82. Reggie could announce the Jamaican Stock Exchange information any day. And when that happens, the best thing about that is it won't be just Ether Delta that Veritasium is trading on. Yes, Veritasium will be trading on the Jamaican Stock Exchange in its own platform, peer-to-peer. So that'll be huge for Veritasium, huge for the push to make markets, to inject blockchain technology into our criminal market system. I love that. Now, even if Veritasium isn't the be-all, end-all, and it goes into every single market in the world, it is the leader. It is the leader in that in the attempt to take out the criminality from exchanges and extract all the costs that the banksters have been extracting from our exchanges. It's just insane what they have been stealing from us, and Veritasium it's trying to put a stop to it. We'll see what happens in the very near future. And there's all kinds of other things going on with Veritasium. It's not going to be just this one thing where the Jamaican Stock Exchange has a peer-to-peer Veritasium-based platform. It's going to be, okay, Jamaican Stock Exchange, and then he's working with another one of the top 10 exchanges, which is huge, gigantic, over $1 trillion supposedly. So yeah, Veritasium, get your very, baby. Get very, very deep into very. Anyway, and you guys know the rest. If you're a private road subscriber, go to the Friday road trips, and I list my top 10. Cliff High has a new report coming out in the next few weeks, and there will be some new ICO type of analysis on there for the things he's seeing right now, because the ICOs are still going to happen. Most likely, some of the more fraudulent ones will go away after this pseudo crackdown, and they should go away. And you should do your due diligence. And those who got conned on an ICO that wasn't exactly what they thought, this is the wild, wild west, and you should have done more due diligence. In your own due diligence. Yes, listen to other people, but then does it make sense to you? Would you use this token? Do you want this token? Or are you just investing in it because it's an ICO and you think it's going to go up? Because a lot of these ICOs these days are trading at less than what the original offer was. So you got to be careful. And I like to invest in companies that are forward-looking, forward-thinking, but not too far off. If it's so far, hey, in 3 years we're going to have a product, there's a lot of crap that can happen between now and there. If they're ready to release their product within the next 6 months, I'd say two thumbs up for that. So do your digging. I have my top 10 on the website. If you're interested, go to roadtoruta.com, hit the subscribe button, and you can get some of that. And you can get a free coin. You can get a coin. I got one right here, a Road to Ruta coin with a PPT token right there. Look at that, if you can see it. That's a Road to Ruta coin. And no, you can't get the private key off that. Nice try, though. And yeah, that's it. This big Weir. I'm going to go through the 3 Amigos video and chop it up and analyze it a little further. And since we'll post some YouTube videos, so make sure you subscribe. Hit subscribe. Give me a thumbs up for this. And I'll talk to you later.